Street Dreams 2.
Um,
You be thinking about some wild ass shit.
yeah, man, that's why I'm excited for all these books and movies and shit. I can take all this and, have another platform to be able to get all these fun ideas out of my head. This, to me, truly, I think I really created a classic hip-hop song with this one, something that'll be revered, remembered, and respected as far as storytelling goes. And it was, I think I did 3-4 days straight of rapping. I did Last Call, I did Iconic, I did a bunch of shit in the span of 2-3 days. And that's why my voice is so fucked up, and it's 4:30 in the morning when I recorded the whole thing. I was exhausted, I was tired, and I did it because I needed to remember, and I was writing it as I was doing it, and I was like, I need to get it, and then I'll just re-record it later. But a lot of my friends are like, they thought it sounds better because I'm legitimately exhausted. And it's, obviously the entire song is a dream. That's why it's called Street Dreams. And the reason I love it is because it takes place where I'm actually in a car being driven somewhere. So I'm having all these feelings of driving, and that's what it's kind of like Inception, you know what I mean, in a way. And so this is completely inspired by Casualties of a Dice Game and The Heist by Big L. Those are two of what I believe to be some of the greatest storytelling hip-hop songs of all time. I would put, Casualties of a Dice Game top 3, maybe even my number 1 personally.
In terms of storytelling raps? Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. It's so vivid. I remember hearing that for the first time. Heist completed, that shit from The Heist, and then Casualties of a Dice Game where he dies at the end. I just thought it was really amazing. And then also you can even hear chunks of Can I Live by J. Cole, which I loved. I'll never forget, 10 years ago, listening to Cole do this breakdown where he adds a heart monitor, and I use the same words as homage, the bullet goes through his lung, last song he ever sung. Will he get to see his son grow? And I did it in that Cole shit, on purpose,
Yeah.
And then that goes into the rest of the thing. So it was really cool to do that. And the story, it just happened. I just thought about it and I just did it. And I loved it. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, it's a song, but yeah.
It definitely gives me some Tarantino vibes.
Shout out to Helicopter. Tarantino for sure, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just painting a picture, it's truly a movie for the mind.
Right.
When you can just sit there and just imagine everything because it's being told to you in such a vivid manner. I'm very proud of that song. And I just think it's just entertaining,
I mean, you're obviously writing a novel and movies and stuff, but when you do a song like that, does it make you be like, damn, I gotta turn this into a movie?
Kinda, but it just fires me up for the other shit because it's okay, yeah, that'd be cool, but it feels better as a song, you know? People talk about the incredible true story and would you turn that into a movie and this and that, and it's I actually thought about it. I thought about turning it into a book. And you never know, maybe I will take these characters and turn it into something else. But that specific story about 2 dudes sitting in a cockpit listening to Logic, I don't think I'm going to turn that into a movie. You know what I mean?
Do you have crazy dreams like that? Are you a dreamer?
Yeah, when I'm not smoking weed, because they say weed kind of fucks with your dreams.
Does it really?
Yeah, I don't really have, when I smoke a lot of weed, I don't really have a lot of dreams.
You just don't have dreams?
Yeah, I just sleep through the night and not really have dreams. Or at least not remember your dreams.
Okay.
They're not as vivid. I had a dream once that was so lucid, it inspired what I thought was going to be a film, and then what I actually ended up being what is now my second novel that I'm in the middle of writing. And that was the only time I've ever had some shit. People it came to me in a dream.
Right.
I always thought that was bullshit. I'm what? It came to you in a dream? What the fuck? But then this was really came to me in a dream. Goddamn. It's pretty cool. So yeah.
When you're not smoking weed, do you have vivid dreams or?
Yeah.
Are you the type of person when you wake up you write them, or you just kind of whatever it is?
Sometimes I think about wanting to do that, but then I'm it's just gonna fuck up my sleep. Cause I'll wake up and have dreams and I'll be oh wow, that's really cool. Damn, that's fucking awesome. And I'll fall asleep and be damn, it was really cool. But I don't want to be Captain's log. The dream I just had of 2 aliens kissing. Yeah, I don't know. I could just lie to everybody and be yeah, Street Dreams 2 is a real dream, dog. And I just wrote it down, woke up. That'd have been ill, right? If I was man, I had this whole dream and I was in the studio. And then I woke up and I just wrote everything that happened in the dream, dog. Street Dreams from my fucking mind. Am I right? I mean, that would have been made for some better shit.
Yeah.
Some other motherfuckers would have said that shit, not me. I'm just keeping it 100.
Yeah. Are you more of a dreamer or a daydreamer? 'Cause
Daydreamer,
for me,
100%
like,
daydreaming.
I'll tune out certain
Oh, yeah.
things and just go into my own
I daydream
world.
all the time. That's what I do for my, when I'm with people, homies, whoever. I'm sitting here thinking about my novel and shit.
Right.
Like I'm like, damn, how is he gonna get from this point to this point of the universe through exospace and fucking crystals in the engine and fucking all this shit? And I'm like, what the fuck? It's wild.
Yeah, I find myself tuning, like, not that I tune out all the time, but like sometimes I'll just be sitting there and like, it actually, you know where it happens a lot? It happens a lot at industry functions. Because
Yeah.
I'm in a room full of people and
Fuck boys most of the time.
yeah, and to me, the loneliest I've ever been has been in a room full of people.
Yeah,
Because
feel
I think
that.
that's when, like, when I'm by myself, like, I always feel good, but I'll be in a room.
You love yourself.
Yeah, like I love myself, I feel good. But if I'm in a room full of industry people and I
fucking
I look
competition.
around and I'm like, damn, like I really, like there's so much small, shallow bullshit talk that sometimes I'm such a people watcher that I'll start making up stories of what's
About
going out
each
in
person,
the room
yeah.
and like what they're going through or what they just happened in their day or who they're talking to and what what kind of like history they have. Where I'll just like create this whole scene in my head of everything that's going on, and that kind of gives me. It takes away my social anxiety away a little
No, I feel you. I was looking at this picture of me and Kobe, and there's this sweet woman who works with him, and she's in the background of the photograph, and she's totally spaced out. And in my mind, I'm like, it looks like she's like, damn, did I leave the coffee maker on this morning? Y'all should go check that shit out. It's really funny. I'm like, she's like very in thought. You know what I mean? Like she's doing like a math equation or some shit. Anyway.
Shout out to Daydreams. Adventures of Stony Bob.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I should fucking get high right now.
I've never gotten high, so
Yeah.
I'm going to live vicariously through you.
Adventures of Stony Bob. I was smoking a bunch of pot on tour, man. I was like, let's have fun. The funny thing is, though, I've made a bunch of weed songs. First song I've ever made as a stoner, as a person who smoked weed.
This is?
Yes.
But what about the Indica Bob?
Indica Badu?
Indica Badu?
I guess, all right, you know what? You got me.
Okay.
Fuck. Damn it.
I
Now I
was
look
like,
like an
wait
idiot.
a minute.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, second song. God damn. They're both 4 minutes and 20 seconds, 4:20.
That's some stoner ass shit to say.
I did, right? There it is. Hey, man, this one is like the only one. Wait, what? True,
I guess weed really does affect the memory. Shit.
I suppose. But yeah, super fun. Sladro, who's my weed manager,
Yeah.
has had that verse up his sleeve since I fucking met him back in the basement like 8 years
Are
ago.
you serious?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's pretty funny.
Lenny's on there too.
He
Shout out
snapped
to
though,
Lenny.
and then Lenny. I love Lenny's verse because it's all about weed, like, but really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm like talking about the subject of weed, but just what he's saying and how he's saying it. I love it. Kajo, my artist signed to Elysium, sings the hook, produced the beat with Six, and yeah, it's just it's kind of like self-explanatory.
For
Super
sure.
fun, good
One of the
vibe.
things you mentioned on that track is that you're working on your own strain.
Yeah, with Burner.
With Burner.
Yeah, through Cookies, man. I'm really excited. Can't say what it's called just yet,
Okay.
but we're working on some special shit.
What's gonna make your? I don't smoke weed, so I don't know. But what's gonna make your strand different than all the other millions of strands out there?
It's mine, baby.
Word.
You know what I'm talking about? It's that good ass shit. It's mine.
Legacy. What spawned you to want to like talk about that?
I don't know, man. It's like slam poetry. You know what I mean? It's like super dope. I imagine like I'm like Def Jam
That poetry jam?
shit. Yeah, like I'm like on stage, like really like or like Love Jones.
Uh huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Darius up there doing his thing. That shit is I don't know, it just makes you think. And it was more of just a poem. It was less about like raps and shit. And I couldn't believe it's like a pretty long song. And I recorded it super quick. I did it on tour like 2017 or some shit. Like, see, that's what's so fun about this. It's all over here. You don't never know. Some shit I'll see on the internet is like rare, but it'll be like, he needs to take his time. He keeps putting out all these albums, he should take time and spend a whole year or 2 years, blah, blah, on an album. But it's like, I've literally spent years
Right.
on these albums.
It's just buckets that you put things
Exactly.
into.
Years waiting. Now it's ready. And then, you put it out.
Is your legacy something you think about a lot?
Yeah, but the big thing for me is like, wife and kids and marriage and just being happy and, just having a family. That's the number one thing. That's the most important shit for me is, just loving your life and fuck all this other shit, I would like to be known as a writer. That's my biggest thing, whether it's a writer of music or movies or fiction and books and this and that, like writer. Like that's my shit.
Why is that the most important?
Because it also says that I've done many things as well. And mind you, that's the ego talking. That's the thing that I want people to remember me by as a creative. But truly, I just want to be remembered as a good man who treated others with love and respect. That's the number one ultimate, good father, good family man. Like that's it. But I mean, still, even then, like, who gives a shit, like, about the outward world, right? Only people that should really matter to would be my family that I have. And that's what I talk about in this. I love it, man. I love, like, where I'm rapping from the perspective of this dude, and he's like, it's all good. Like, I didn't even get to give my little girl away, but I paid for the honeymoon, or then the son coming in, and he's basically like, now's the time for change, Dad. Like, be with me, because I don't care if we're living on change. I don't care if we live in a shoebox. Now my mama gonna tell me what you got. And then this woman who, like, obviously loves this man, but he's, like, never there, and talks about, like, just fucking resorting to masturbation and cheating on him and hating the person she sees in the mirror because of it, which all stems from, this false sense of, well, if I could just get promoted, and then I can be on the board, and once I'm on the board, then I could be partner, and once I'm partner, I could be CEO, and then once I'm there, and then you wake up, it's like click, Adam Sandler, and then you're 100%. Like, what the fuck is it all? What? Like, what's it all for? You finally get there, and you're like, damn. And that's how I felt, Like, I finally got to Madison Square Garden. It was amazing. It was dope. But then what? I finally sold millions of records. Then what? I finally had #1 albums. Then what? Like, then what? Then what? And if you're looking to not even just, and that's the fucked up part is, there's some people who will never accomplish the things that I've accomplished, and so they're turned into substance, and then they get that substance. But then what? And then it's the same thing over and over. So whether it's you're addicted to substance, success, fame, this, that, like the true thing is like what makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy, go do that. Alan Watts said that shit, and that you'll find others who are. Whatever you're into, you'll find others who are. So for me, when it comes to the song, legacy, being remembered, this, whatever, it's like, bro, you just got to wake up and do what you love. You know what I mean? Like, I woke up today, played with my dogs, smoked a joint, read a book, and now I'm here doing this interview because I love and respect and appreciate you, and nobody else is really going to get an in-depth interview like this. Anyway, do what you love.
For me, I always put myself in my deathbed. Like, whenever I need to think about decisions, like, I'm always like, okay, if I'm on my deathbed looking back at my life, what am I going to think about this moment right now?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I love that. And I love that he found out when it was too late, which I think is a real thing. But it's also, I'm using the possibility of what others have felt and gone through in the real world and have created a fictional man, that I'm pretending to rap from his perspective. And on his bed as he dies from cancer, he's like, damn, the biggest, most important thing I had was time.
Right.
Like, truly, like, damn, I had time, and I fucked it all up. And here's my children and my wife, and they're all here at this bed, and I'm realizing, damn, like, I'm in this huge mansion, billionaire, yachts, and for what?
Right.
For what? You got all the money in the world, but you ain't got time. You spent all your time trying to make money. Damn, that sucks. And then it's like, for what? And honestly, I'm going to be real. I think there's woke motherfuckers who will watch this and be like, wow, that's really real. And it's going to inspire them to be like, man, okay, it ain't about money. I'm trying to make a living. I got to make a living. But like, It ain't about that. Do what you love. Play video games, read books, explore, go traveling, go do this. And then there's going to be motherfuckers who are in that same position, like, man, he don't know what he's talking about. Money's everything. Money's this. He can say that now because he's got money. But it's like, yeah, I can say that now because I got money. Because there's a lot of ignorant people who look at me and just see some rich rapper. But the truth is like, the real ones, the OGs, they know where I came from. Nothing. Right. Food stamps. Literally nothing. And I think it might even just be a thing where they're used to me or rappers or whoever being like, yeah, from food stamps and government and this and that. And it's like just a thing to say. But like, nah, dog. Like, so from having nothing to then having what some people could consider everything, you find out that money is not money aids in happiness. I really believe that shit, but it's not the source of happiness. It's not the root of happiness, but even my security guard was like, man, Pepe, he was like, dog, because I don't ever do nothing. I don't go nowhere. And sometimes I'm like, hey man, I think we should plan like a vacation sometime, you know? And he's like, bro, you're in a fucking position. There ain't no sometime. You say where you want to go, and you
Right.
say make it happen in 2 days. He's like, you know how many fucking people, you know, you got 30 plus employees under you. Make it happen. Like,
Right.
I want to go here on this day. Do it. And he's like, and you should do it. And that's where I am. I'm at a point in my life where it's really about experiences. I want to experience the world, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Ultimately, I feel like that's the most valuable thing. It's like the experiences are going to be what shape you, what you're going to remember when you're old. You're not going to remember, did I have these kicks or did I have this or whatever. It's like,
Yeah, you don't really think about that shit.
you're not going to think about that shit. You're
Yeah.
going to think about like, oh, did I go to these countries? Did I meet these people? Like, what are these conversations? Was I good to people? Like, those are the things that are going to shape you as a human being. Like,
You want to know
this
something
shit
really
don't
cool
mean
too?
shit.
Oh, I agree. Something really cool though. I think that a certain demographic and generation will understand. Some of my most fondest, beautiful, and vivid memories are inside video games.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and to some people that could seem like a negative.
Yeah.
I don't see it as that. From Uncharted to The Last of Us, especially The Witcher, and Metal Gear Solid 5, The Witcher 3, Grand Theft Auto for sure. But there's like you just shoot and kill and it's a bunch of shit. But like that's why I'm excited for Red Dead Redemption 2 to come out, because it's just a huge, massive open world. And I've never really played like Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption online with other players. I've always played other games, and a lot of my homies are gonna be playing this game, and I'm very excited to venture out into a entire open world, as this cowboy. I like Westworld shit personally, and make memories with my friends and like an ecosystem and wildlife and bears and deer and horses and robbing trains and citizens and fun shit. And it's like, I'm excited because, there's some people who can see reading books as a waste of time, truly. And like, okay, you're reading books and you're reading about shit, but you're not experiencing, you're not going there. I think it's good to experience. I think it's good to travel. But like, man, there are entire universes at our dispense and right in front of us. And I think if you're into it, that you should do that. Now, there's mindless games like kind of like Call of Duty, and I'm not shitting on it. It's fun, super fun. You go, you shoot but it's the same thing over and over and over again. And it's not a bad thing, but it's literally the same fucking thing. Sometimes the campaign is a little different, but like the online, it's like you deploy, you shoot someone, you win, you rank, whatever. But this is different, man. This is like every experience is unique and rich and full of color. And that's why I love video games. And that's why you guys might love my second novel. Dun, dun, dun.
Iconic. This and Young Sinatra are my two favorites.
Yeah?
For different reasons. Iconic is just like, once it comes in, it just makes me want to do this. You start off with shout out to that boy, Slim Shady.
Yeah, Eminem. Fuck yeah.
You got a shout out on the album. When you heard that, did you spaz out like Hobson spazzed out? Or were you just chill with it?
No, I was pretty chill about it. But that's I get it. Like, of course I'm ecstatic. Of course I'm, excited. And it was awesome and amazing to be recognized by one of my favorite MCs of all time, favorite artists. But I just had a lot of shit going on. I was like releasing an album and doing this and doing that. So I didn't really have time to process it. And then I thought about it and let it sink in. And then all my friends were like, bro. And then I was like, damn. And then I was in the studio like, yo, shout out fucking Slim Shady. That's crazy, man. So I fuck with him. I'm down. I want to work with him. I want to do a song with him. Yeah.
Icons inspire icons.
Yeah, dog. I think that could be pretty cool. So for this song, Icon came out. Kendrick tweeted the video, and I was just randomly on Twitter, and I saw it, and I was like, this shit is crazy. And that night, I was like, yo, these drums are fire. Let's do some drums like this to inspire me, and then I'll just write, and then we'll change the drums later. And I went off, did my thing. Then obviously it switches up halfway through, and whatever the case may be, Six produced it, snapped.
Killed it.
But then like trying to change the drums, like the energy was gone. And I was like, damn. Because we do open hi-hats too a lot. If you listen on like Whoa and shit like that, that kind of vibe from different like sample packs and shit. And I knew Jaden. We'd grown friendly and then just became boys. And he's such a cool fucking dude. I fuck with him. He's funny, knows how to take a joke, has fun. He's not too into himself, whatever. He's just cool. Like, I text him, he texts me back, he says what's up, we talk about shit, and he's just a really nice guy.
I talked to Jaden a little bit when he had his show at Beats One.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I feel like when both of you in a room, just with the way you guys just think outside the box, like I'm curious, like what do y'all talk about?
Well, you know what's funny is like we haven't like gotten super hang time. Like it's always like we're at like festivals,
Right.
which is also it's a bittersweet way to see somebody you love and respect. You know what I mean? Because it's like they're doing their thing, about to hit the stage. You gotta go. You gotta this. You gotta that. So, but he's a dude I like legitimately fuck with, and every time we see each other, it's love, and we'll just talk about music and hanging and family and friends and things like that. So I told him, I was like, yo, I got this song. And I was like, honestly, the drums are so ill. I think I want to call the shit iconic, you know, after what you did. And it's funny because I'm like that generation before him now, right? But I'm openly being like, yo, but I'm inspired by this dude. And the reason why I knew he would be cool with it and really appreciate the love is because he does that shit all the time, which I feel like I've been a big advocate and opened that door for. Like you hear his shit, you hear Kanye type drums, you hear this, you hear that, and he, you know, he's like, these are all my inspirations, these are the people that I love. And so I asked him, I was like, man, you know, I want to do this. I gave production credit and publishing to his producers as well, because it wouldn't have existed without them. You know, you just gotta do his shit the right way. And then I thought about it, I was like, man, you know what, like, just on top of it, because this is the shit that's going on behind closed doors. Nobody knows, you know, like the song could have come out and like nobody knows that we're boys and that we're cool, and then I have this song that sounds like this, but it's called Iconic, and then people just whatever. But I was like, let me shut that shit down. I was like, yo, you should jump on here and just talk some shit. And then he was like, icons inspire icons, gold chains wrapped around my neck like pythons. Like, I was like, damn, that shit's dope. And then I come in, greatest alive. I'm the greatest alive. And then I end that with, there's no such thing as the greatest alive. That's just a fucking lie, like the opening words in this verse, that as soon as they disperse, make other rappers converse and plot to put you in a hearse. Real talk, fuck rap. I hate it and I love it because it's so negative. Like, that's the realest shit ever. You know what I mean? Like, and I ain't the first person to say fuck rap. And I think the person who said it first and the loudest was probably Jay-Z. Fuck rap. Like, you know, where he just, and it's like, when I say that, just as we said before, it's not fuck rap, it's not fuck hip hop, it's fuck the bullshit that surrounds all of it. You know what I mean? Like, period. Like, yeah. And anybody who, as much of a voice as I am for and in this fucking culture, you got to be a real idiot to hear me say something like that and not even have the decency to know about me, my background, my music, the things I talk about, this or that, because it's true, man.
At what point did you realize that being the greatest doesn't exist?
Probably like when I was like 24, 25, like once I put out like the first album, because then I realized like it's all relative, you know? Like, not to sound no type of way, but it's just like Wayne was really quiet for like a long time, right? And then Wayne was considered one of the greatest rappers alive. I think he is one of the greatest rappers alive, truly, like, you know. And it's just funny how someone can go away, regardless for whatever, like legal shit or, you know, stuff or this or that. Obviously, he still released music, but this was like his comeback. And it's just funny how like a month ago, nobody was like, Wayne's greatest. 6 months ago, this, that. Not to say that people don't say that. Not to say that I don't say that. I do. I think he's the shit. But what I'm saying is like timing. Like, oh, he's dropping an album, so now he's the greatest. Not to him, but just like the perception of people. Same with me. Like, oh, man, Logic fell off because he hasn't released an album in 6 months. And then you release an album, and they're like, oh, he's back. He's the greatest. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think nowadays we judge. That's nothing to do with Wayne. Has everything to do with any rapper. We judge music by relevance, I think, like more than the quality of music or, just that, the quality of music. You know, where somebody could be like super hot right now, super this and super that, and an album drops and everybody's like, damn, because they like 4 songs on an album or this or that or whatever. Like, that shit is so wild to me that it's less about skill and this and that. And once again, not using Wayne in any of this. I was just saying how it's crazy that one day it's a cool thing to talk about a rapper because they just released their shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Travis killed it, had the fucking #1 album 2 weeks in a row, snapped, and then he's in his Travis world with his friends and all that other shit while the industry is like, what's next? But it's like, what? It's only been 2 weeks, not even been a month or whatever since Travis dropped his album from when we're doing this right now. Why the fuck aren't there even way more? Like, what is that? We used to let an album live
Right.
for years You know, The Source and Double XL and all these people would be doing think pieces years later, still months later. You know, now you got these one listen reviews, and it's like, you know, yeah, Wayne has a shitload of fucking songs on his album, but people should listen to it and appreciate it before they judge it. And that's the crazy shit, is like, you know, I release an album, anybody releases an album, and it's like, you got people like, nah, this song is shit. No, this song's whatever. This one's cool. This one, this. And it's just like, what? You haven't even listened to it. And then I've found people who have come to me and later been fans, been like, yo, I didn't even give your shit a listen. Like, I didn't give it a chance. I didn't give it a try. I went back, actually heard what you said, you know, and it was like kind of the thing to do. It was like funny to like make fun of you because like biracial or fucking whatever. So like I did it. And then I actually listened to everything they were talking about, and like, you know, like I'm Dominican white dog, you know, like, so I get it. So it's just funny how people perceive shit.
You finish out the album with Last Call.